And turning to other news now, even in the midst of a global pandemic, more women are dreaming of opening their own business. And it may not only be an entrepreneurial spirit that's driving them. Audrey is here now to explain exactly what's inspiring more women to become the boss. Audrey, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Yeah, there's a reason Girl Boss is a popular hashtag. Close to 3/4 of women worldwide say they'd like to own their own business. Now, the second annual Global Entrepreneurship IP survey asked women in 15 countries if they'd like to be their own boss. 72% said yes. In the U.S., 57% of women say they have entrepreneurship dreams. Now, that's up from 46% last year. Economic uncertainty brought on by the pandemic may be a big part of that increase. In fact, 51% say supporting their family fuels their dreams. 62% say they're driven by unfair treatment in previous jobs. But the biggest reason by far, 80% say they're motivated to be a role model for younger women. But they know it won't be easy. These future girl bosses say getting money to start their business is the most challenging part of it all.